What's sort of the feeling for you guys when you kind of have two games in your grasp, you led in both games, and you're just kind of not able to finish it out?
Yeah, you got to finish out, and no question. It's difficult to do that on the road in the playoffs. There's no question about it. You got to make pitches, you got to make plays, and you got to give the other team credit if they're able to come back. And I don't know what else you want me to say. We have played very good baseball. I do know how hard it is to win on the road, and it'll be very hard for them to win in Seattle. I will tell you that.
Hey, Mariners fans. My name is Max Schwabe, and I'm here with Chris Sobba and Evan Barron. Chris Weifel unfortunately couldn't make it. He's doing important field work out in Eastern Washington.
Enumclaw.
Yeah, in Enumclaw. He's hitting the streets. He's interviewing a bunch of people. Anyway, hey, thank you for tuning in. And as our story mentioned on Instagram yesterday, well, whenever this gets released, earlier in this week after game 2, we're in a tough spot right now. And, the immediate thing that I'll say about the current situation, going 0-2 in Houston, is we fully recognize that this was something that could happen. Was it not, Chris?
Sure.
Evan?
Sure.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Sure.
So look, we're not going to go into like the play-by-plays and whatnot. We're going to give you our takes on some of the things that we did wrong. But that's baseball. Shit goes wrong sometimes. Tuesday, still not over it. Thursday was more of a digestible loss.
You got to. Okay. We're over.
I'm not over Tuesday.
We
dude.
are.
And here's why. And Evan, before we even got on the show, was like, "Hey, you're going to talk about, the Robbie Ray pitch and what you would have done."
Hey, let's be honest. Here. Okay.
You don't throw Yordan
Alvarez
a fastball right down the dick.
No, you don't. You don't. And Cal Raleigh came out, and Cal Raleigh, this is just speaking to the type of human that Big Dumper is. He is taking blame internally, at least. He said to the media as well. Obviously, fans are not going to be pointing blame at the catcher for a pitch that ended up ending the game. I believe Cal did call for a fastball. Robbie did throw a fastball. He did throw it, as Max said, quote unquote, right down the dick. Mm-hmm. That was a fact. It was just middle to Yordan Alvarez, and that's not what you want. However, there's things in baseball for players that can happen that will just make them play to the best of their ability. Back in September, the Houston Astros met with Yordan. They've been meeting with Yordan prior to September, and they were able to get his family, his mom, his dad, his brother, all the way from Cuba for the first time ever. They had never, ever seen him play professional baseball. They had never, ever seen a professional baseball game, and they were able to bring his family from Cuba. They had to work with the government, all that stuff. And they've been living with Yordan ever since. And Yordan, since September, has been the best hitter in Major League Baseball. The guy's batting average is over 400. His OPS is over 1100. It's just
this is all since September.
This is all since his family got to America to see him play baseball, and he has been lighting it up. And so when you are at that type of ease, when you have that, it's not pressure. It's more so comfortability, knowing that you have your people with you watching you, and they're at every game. Like I said, they're living with him. He's just so happy right now. He's so happy, and he's playing so relaxed. You can see it on the field. Mm-hmm. Damn it. You can see it in the batter's box. Yordan Alvarez, that boy doesn't know how to play left field and play against the wall that he sits in front of 81 games out of a year. He can't seem to figure that wall out for us this series, which has been good. But that's baseball. That hit is baseball. That's what happens. You keep Paul Sewald in there. Same shit's probably going to happen.
I disagree.
Maybe not.
Disagree.
Maybe not. Maybe not a home run, but man, the guy's been barreling up everything. Luis Castillo had a 98-mile-per-hour running away from him ball off the plate, like 5 inches off the plate, and he just slapdicks it over the Crawford boxes. Like, the guy is swinging out of his ass. It's lights out.
No. Swinging out of his ass is a bad thing. That he's doing
not
the exact opposite. Yeah, dude. swinging out of your ass is what Cal Raleigh did with the bases loaded with 2 outs in game 2. I mean, he was looking for something that he was never going to get. And, you know, a take that I noticed, at least game 2, was, you know, we were swinging very aggressively, and that shit worked game 1. We did a fantastic job coming out of the gates hot against Justin Verlander. We did a great job, but swinging out of your ass is not a compliment.
Well, now, okay, fine, whatever. I'm not going to say that we were being aggressive against Verlander and we weren't being aggressive against Framber. We had essentially kind of the same approach. You know, before the game started on game 2, I was listening to the announcers, and they were telling us that in batting practice, everybody on the Mariners, they were not hitting. The announcers said they didn't see a ball go into the Crawford boxes during batting practice. They were driving the ball to right center field, to opposite field, because that's what they were going to need to do against Framber. That's what they did against Justin Verlander, and they just weren't chasing pitches. They were making they were making Verlander, they were making Framber pitch in the zone, pitch a strike.
Framber
Valdez.
Sorry.
Yes, Framber Valdez. And, you know, we Framber, when Framber, that ball 4 on Eugenio Suarez, that cutter that was low and in, you could see his frustration start right there. And then after that, kind of all shit, you know, hit the fan for Mr. Framber here. And that's when the Mariners started piling up some runs. However, I want to go and there's something that I want to touch on, and it's my attitude going into tomorrow. This has been a brutal series. The first game was heart-ripping, heart-wrenching. I was sick to my stomach. I was literally sick to my stomach. It sucked.
Well, one thing I will add on to that, I was talking with my mother, and I was trying to have my mommy make sense of this situation. And she was like, yeah, that was the biggest gut punch in Seattle sports since Russell Wilson's interception at the goal.
Yeah, see, I saw that. I saw somebody else say that too, man. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. Yes, because that was the first game of the series.
I remember vividly that moment happening, and I had the two went like the reaction
when that moment happened with the Super Bowl. When that moment happened, we didn't have another game to play. We didn't have another opportunity to come back.
And yet it still hurt just as bad. I mean, we knew, look, man, before going into Houston, we talked about this. We needed one game in Houston. Yes. And I was fully confident that, well, this is going to sound bad, but I was not confident in winning game 2, right? Like we did what we had to do game 1, and that was crucial, right? But game 2, like, you know, over the first few innings, you saw it was going to be a close game. But like I had mentioned, you know, to people I was, you know, going back and forth during the game, like we needed more than like 5 runs. And sure enough, they put up 4.
We put up 2.
And we put up 2. That's correct.
So there's a couple of mistakes, 2 that really stick out to me.
Your audio's fooked.
My audio.
Yeah, it's like super... Now it's good. I think you're just too close, or
I haven't moved. All right. How do I sound now?
You sound good.
Evan, producer, you tell me.
You sound good there, but yeah, for some reason you're coming in really hot there for a sec.
Really
loud. I don't know if you just got really amped up or whatnot, but
I didn't change anything. Anyways, 2 mistakes that I think were crucial, and they were base running mistakes. First game, Manny Acta sends Ty France when we have 2 outs. He sends him home, and he got absolutely hosed. He had no shot. That man is good he's great at first base. He's great in the batter's box. God damn it. He's got lead for feet, and he cannot run. I don't know why we sent him there. It was, you know, we ended up losing the game by 1. You know, if you give us another chance to get another person up to bat and to take another swing, maybe we knock Ty France in.
Yeah.
Carlos Santana. In the second game, he rounds first base after Framber Valdez had the throwing error at home plate. And then he gets thrown out at second, and there's an extra out. We ended up they end up getting out of the inning. After that, we scored 2 because Dylan Moore, Scott Service, way to put in Dylan Moore, by the way, in game 2. He came in clutch. And God, I thought Jared Kelenic had it. I thought Jared Kelenic hit that out. I was up and out of my seat. I thought it was gone. I thought that was so far gone, and it wasn't. But
with how many times have we seen Kyle Tucker? I mean, even during the regular season, catch, a deep fly ball to right field on the warning track. In Houston. That's like the 4th time that's happened this year. I think 2 of them happened in this series.
Yeah, but I also wanted to say what I was doing on game 1 and my reactions after as well. During the game, the last inning and a half, I had rug burns on my knees because I was praying, and I was on my knees for like 2.5 innings, straight up praying to God, like every single pitch, pointing to the heavens, saying, "Please, please help me." And then bury my face into my lap and just pray some more. Yes, help me, help me, God, help me, God. And I took my shirt off. I was in my boxers. Because I was sweating so much.
You stripped down.
It was a disgusting scene. If you were somebody looking at me like, this is a disgusting human being praying to God over a freaking baseball game, you animal. And whatever. And after the game, like I said, man, I at first was shocked. Then I took my hat, I threw it, I took a baseball bat, I hit my couch over and over and over. I went to my bedroom, I put my face into my pillows, and I screamed really, really loud. Yeah. And then my dog was looking at me like, "Why are you so angry? What did I do?" I was like, "I'm not angry at you, Goose. I'm angry at the world." And then I went for a run. I went for a fucking run.
Yeah.
I don't go on runs.
So let me tell you my story of my reaction. Game 1. I was watching it downstairs. I also had my shirt off because I was sweating, and I was pacing back and forth. And this was the bottom. I mean, this was the majority of the game, but the bottom of the 9th comes around, and I'm feeling myself, like I'm beside myself. And then, the walk-off happens, and I didn't say anything. I didn't do any audible reaction. I just stood there for a second, unplugged the computer, closed the laptop, and then I just sat down in silence for 5 minutes, didn't do anything. And then I went up to my room and watched movies for like the rest of the day, because that's how I sought comfort. Game 2 happened, and I was watching it with a buddy, and the top of the 9th comes around, and I'm in a real bad mood at that point. And then the double play happens. And to your point about screaming into a pillow, that was the first time I've ever screamed into a pillow.
Well, you did it too?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Nice.
Yesterday, like the double play happened, and I grabbed a pillow, and
what an unfortunate double play. JP Crawford ripped it and to him. And then Frazier just deer in headlights.
I screamed into my pillow. And then Ty France swinging at junk over and over when he wasn't really throwing strikes in the first place. And then I closed my laptop, I stormed out the door, and I went for a run. But that
Max,
did help.
You and I were pretty much doing the exact same thing.
Going for runs does help.
Going for runs and screaming into pillows.
Yeah, dude.
Did you hit anything? Did you hit anything with the baseball bat? Did you throw any hats?
No. What I did do was I slammed my fist into the floor. I was boom. And I caught myself kind of acting a little childish about it, but I think it was fully merited.
It was just unbelievable.
Yeah. Exactly.
I didn't want to believe it. I found myself like hypothetically thinking, like, as I was praying to God, it's like, well, what if God were to had answered my prayers, and Angel in the outfield did it, and like a lightning bolt were to strike down through the sky and then hit the ball and stop it from going over the fence? That's what I was like, why couldn't you have made that happen, God? I was praying to you. I was kind of asking for it, but
right.
Fuck me. I guess.
Well, it goes to show.
Is there a God? Is there a God?
It goes to show how often praying works, right?
Yeah, it worked. I'll tell you this: the last time I was on my knees with my shirt off and in my boxers, I remember this extremely vividly. The last time that had happened was when Dylan Moore hit the grand slam against Houston, the walk-off. The day before we traded Kendall Graveman and Rafael Montero and received Abraham Toro. I was in the exact same position, in the exact same attire, which was almost nothing. Praying to God. sweating my ass off because I was so nervous.
I was praying to the light beers I was going to drink afterwards.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway.
But so this is Max and I talked about this yesterday on the phone very briefly. And this is my attitude going into tomorrow, going into Saturday. It's been a long season and it's been a hell of a season. It's been a hell of a ride. And God damn it, I don't want it to be over yet. I do not. But I'm going to the game. I will be at the I'm tailgating 9 a.m. tomorrow. I'm getting a good sleep tonight. 9 a.m. tomorrow. I will be down at T-Mobile. Yeah, Max.
This is news to me.
Yeah, we will be down. Well, Max, I'm getting you early. I know. Deal with it. Deal with it. I will be at your house at 9 o'clock to pick you up.
I have company over.
Great.
God damn it.
Yeah. Sorry, man. Anyways, where I'm going with this is I'm going to be going into the stadium and I'm going to be treating it as if it were just kind of like another day at the park. But at the same time, I'm kind of even going to be treating it as if it's like opening day. I'm going to smell the smells, taste the tastes, and just see the sights of professional baseball. And I'm going to soak it all in.
You're and I'm going to be present. I'm going to be
present as fuck. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be there in all of the meaning of the phrase. And I'm going to make sure that I am just experiencing everything that I can. I'm enjoying and appreciating everything that I can see. And I believe Cal Raleigh said, Big Dumper, he said that he believes that this team is going to win tomorrow and they're going to win Saturday, and that there will be at 3 p.m. Pacific time in Houston a game 5 to decide it. And damn it, if that ain't peak chaos ball, I don't know what is. But the Mariners have been backed up in corners left and right the entire season. In the blue corner, the Seattle Mariners, they've been backed into it, and they have time again. They've come out from what seems like their own graves. It seems like they were buried 6 feet deep, and they've clawed and nailed their way up and out of them holes to come back on top and to be victorious. And that is what I am going to be praying and hoping and wishing for come tomorrow. And I'm excited. I am excited. When the going gets tough, the tough get going.
Yeah. Thank you for that. That was really nice. No, but seriously, I totally agree with you, Chris. I think starting on Saturday, it's important that we take one game at a time from here on out. It's
one game, one pitch.
Yeah, it's our only viable approach. And I'll say this, like, from deep down, I am confident that we can win 2 in Seattle. I think, the whole purpose, one of the biggest motivating factors for the Blue Jays series was they're going to bring the next series home to Seattle, and that's what they've done. So, here's what I'll say. I have no doubt that we're not going down without a fight. I am confident that we're going to win on Saturday. Sunday will be tough, just statistically speaking. And obviously we will save game 5 for another conversation if necessary. But what we're focused on is Saturday and Sunday. And
it's
like
Friday,
we said,
then it's Saturday, Sunday.
Like we said, weekend baseball at T-Mobile is going to be electric.
Oh,
because the fans are going to be like salivating.
Yeah, weekend playoff baseball.
Right.
Maxwell.
So that's where I stand. Like, be as bitter as you want about the previous 2 losses. I certainly am, but Chris and I have the luxury of, and a couple of our buddies have the luxury of going to the game on Saturday, and that's going to be super special. So I totally agree. I think Saturday is a great day. I fucking hate saying this. Regardless of the outcome, it's going to be a special experience, and I'm excited to absorb that.
Can't wait.
Yeah, but with George Kirby on the bump, I think it'll make for even more great chaos baseball. As far as the 9 a.m. Tailgate wake up call, I don't think that's gonna fly with me. I think it's best to get some food in me first and make it a hard 10 o'clock.
Max, you're gonna get food in you. Good luck. You better have your door locked. because I'm walking in at 9 a.m.
Lock
Max.
my door. I
Just-
usually
just
lock my
like-
door, dude.
Just like last week, everyone listening to this, I just went into Max's house. I didn't tell him I was coming over. I didn't text him. I didn't do anything. And I just walked into his house. He's like, oh, what are you doing here? I was like,
Imagine how stoked I was about
Yeah.
that.
yeah, that was fun. So, round 2 coming up tomorrow.
So, as far as the tailgate spot, quote unquote,
Hooverville. So if everybody knows
Yeah.
where Hooverville is, in the back alley, the last couple of times I've been going down, we've been bringing my car. I got a lovely American 4Runner. Hell yeah, brother. And I got a cooler in the back, and we bring wiffle ball down. We're gonna have a ton of beers. We're gonna have maybe food. I don't know. TBD.
probably not.
Probably not, but I'll tell you that we will if that gets you there. And we're gonna have beers and liquor. That's a fact. Maybe a little bit of the devil's lettuce too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And Max will have his vape pen because
Oh, gee, can you
Vape
stop with that, dude?
if anybody wants to hit that, I know I do like crazy.
Oh, God.
And man, I saw a GIF or a meme the other day, Max, and I should have tagged you in it. It was on Twitter, but it was this guy like handing something to his buddy.
Oh, yeah.
and then
No, I saw it.
And it's like when your friend who owns the vape just gives it to you without asking, you're like, oh, thank you so much. It's like, but I have to
Whatever.
ask you every time.
Yeah.
But we'll be down there. And last week when we went down there to watch the game when we were playing Toronto, it was the watch party. It was so much fun, man. We had random people just stopping by, taking swings of the bat and hitting homers over the fence onto the train tracks with us. It was an absolute blast. So we're going to keep doing that. And I think baseball in general, at least weekend baseball, I get day baseball or weekday baseball, can't do this, but weekend baseball, man, we got to start tailgating. We got to get down there early. And I don't think it's as prevalent as I want it to be. I want everybody down there early. I want everybody to be pounding beers with me, doing shotguns, taking shots, just getting electric
Well,
and weird.
I mean, is the plan for Saturday's game to get shit faced, or
I mean, I'm going to
don't
control
want to do
myself.
that.
I'm going to control myself. I'm going
Right,
to
but if we start drinking at 9 a.m., Chris, like that's typically what happens.
Well, my thought, I get you at 9 a.m. We go to a bar, we get Bloody Marys, we get breakfast, we get bacon and eggs, and then maybe a shot.
Well,
and
that's
then
totally
head.
different. I
Yeah,
thought you were
yeah.
I thought you were thinking about being parked in the spot at 9 a.m.
Well, we could be parked in the spot and then walk somewhere. There's plenty of brunch spots around there. Plenty. Anyways, we'll talk about that. That's where we're going to be, by Hooverville in the alley. If y'all know where that is, great. If you don't, get a map, figure it out.
Yeah, and in order to come up and see us, just say the code word whiskey.
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 Good code word. Good code word. So it's funny, man. Like I'm curious to hear your thoughts on this. As obviously we do a podcast, we talk a ton about the Mariners every week. When you hear a conversation in public of other people talking about the Mariners, Max, I'm going to ask you this first. Do you ever chime in? Two strangers behind you in the line at the grocery store, they're having a conversation about the Mariners, and maybe there's
yeah.
depends,
So
right?
it depends, and it basically depends on my mood.
Yeah.
So like, for example, after game 2 yesterday, like I heard people I was going for a run and I heard people talking about the M's, and I was like, I am not talking about the Mariners right now.
Yeah.
I know more about the Mariners than they do, which is not always true, obviously. But yeah, I mean, like if it's a day in August or September and the Mariners are, Mariners are looking like they're going to make the playoffs and they start chatting about the M's behind me, I'll chime in.
Okay.
I mean, like not like a douchebag. I won't be like, oh, dude, like, like I'll like chime into whatever point they're making.
Sure.
And just kind of like let them know that I heard them and right fucking on, brother or sister. But
I asked,
I don't go into it too extensively.
I asked this because after game 1, Robbie Ray gave up the home run. I'm at Safeway, and I'm mad. I'm upset. I'm feeling so many emotions. And there's this patron getting his groceries and the guy checking them out. Not checking them out as
Yeah. Come on, move on.
Great. I don't need to dive into that. And they were talking about the Mariners, and I'm like, I'm not going to say anything, like yada, yada, yada. And then the worker at Safeway, he goes, we need to fire Scott Service. And I turn around and go, all right, man. All right. No,
Yeah.
no, you're wrong. You're wrong. We do not need to fire
I'd
Scott
pull
Service.
the plug there.
Oh man, I got upset. And then the guy that was helping me with my groceries in my lane, he was like, oh man, somebody just got pissed. And I was just like, my guy, you don't fucking fire Scott Service over that pitch. Like, we had the plan to bring him in the entire time. Sure, it wasn't the right call, but Scott Service has gotten us to this position, damn it. So you don't get out of here. You don't know what you're talking about. You couldn't even name who George Kirby was, my guy.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus.
No, yeah.
Little things like that. It released.
I still have full confidence in Scott Service.
Yes.
I mean, you could see the fire coming out of that man's eyes.
Yeah.
He's not happy about this. And I take solace in knowing that, because, having a skipper with the mentality of, this is their first time here.
This is his first time coaching in the playoffs,
here, right?
too.
Exactly. So he wants it as much as any of us. So, very mindful of that. Scott's been doing great. It's just, I mean, at the end of the day, man, it's the goddamn Astros.
It's the goddamn Astros. Dusty Baker has been in this position so many times. Scott has never been in this coaching position. This is a great year. Hey, we've ended the drought. We've gone somewhat deep into the playoffs. So if we can get a couple wins under our belt, that's going to be even better, especially when you think about next year and years to come, gaining this playoff experience and learning what to do and what not to do, what has worked and what has not worked. That's all going to help with the years to come. And for that guy to tell me, to tell some stranger that we need to fire Scott Service, it's like, my guy, you are like the guy from Office Space that built a map of jumping to conclusions. And that is what he was doing. He jumped to conclusions. You seen that movie, Max? Office Space?
Of course I have.
Yeah, and you know what I'm talking about? Jump to conclusions.
Yeah, it's been a while, but I certainly don't remember that being the funniest part of that movie.
It wasn't.
It's not
it
that
wasn't.
memorable.
It wasn't that. Well, there was many funny parts
anyway,
of that movie.
Yeah. I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
Don't jump to conclusions just yet. Let's let's all be present in the moment and just enjoy what we're watching, and hopefully what we'll watch on Saturday is a home win. Sobba and I will be there, loud, hopefully not too loud, Chris.
Loud, proud, and in the crowd.
Okay, right on. Look, if I were to leave you Mariner fans with one thing before the weekend series in Seattle, keep your head up, stay loud, stay proud. And one game at a time here. Like the boys are fighting for their lives. I think I'm confident in saying that. But when you put a behemoth baseball team against a scrappy team like ours, it's not always going to go the way that we want. And that's just reality, but you saw game one, especially, like the ingredients are there. We can take down
we can take down the Cy Young winner.
Exactly. We can take down the Cy Young winner.
I want to face him again in game 5. Give me you one more time, Justin.
Yeah, exactly.
One more time in game 5. I want it.
Okay.
Well, we all want it.
I don't want it. I think he's coming back with a chip on his shoulder, but sure, fine.
Maybe
that's what's going to happen.
Whether you want it, exactly. Whether you want it or you don't want it, that is what would happen if we go to
game
5. I'm going to say one more thing that is nothing to do with the Mariners, just to lighten the mood. Max, what is a DJ's favorite kind of sauce? Marinara.
Oh God. Marinara.
Dad joke of the day for you, ladies and gentlemen.
Nice. Do you want to leave our listeners with a little bit something more encouraging than that?
Yes. Hey guys, it's been a freaking awesome season, and I'm not ready for it to be over. I'm tired. I am tired. I feel like I've been riding along this season. I've been in the clubhouse with the boys. It's been a long season. I am tired. But I am not tired of where I am ready to be done. I want to keep getting more tired, and I want to keep watching these boys. I know we all want to keep watching these boys. Let's not be the types of people on social media who are going after and attacking our players and attacking them being, humans.
Didn't Paul Sewald?
Paul Sewald had done that before. He had tweeted something out saying 0 dark 30 before the playoffs started. Zero Dark 37 is what he was going. And so that was meaning he was going off social media. So he had already deleted Twitter prior to that.
Okay.
And so then people were like, oh, you made him delete his Twitter. Like, no, you didn't. He'd already done it.
I thought our fan base got after. God damn.
No, that would really piss me off. So like, he hasn't seen anything unless, somebody's shown him like, oh, Paul, check out what they're saying about you.
Dude, I'm sure.
They weren't. But guys, Max said it best, be loud, be proud, be in the crowd, and just enjoy it. All right. For all we know, this might be the last game of the season. I don't want it to be. I'm not saying it's going to be, but it might be. And if it is, just watch every pitch, be in tune with everything, and care, and just enjoy living in the moment, because we might be in an off season that is going to be a fun off season. I think I really do. We've definitely turned some heads, and I think that people are starting to see what's brewing up here in the Pacific Northwest. And it ain't Starbucks coffee. It's damn good baseball. That's what's brewing. So get ready, guys. Get out there and just have a good fucking time, okay? Because I love this team. You love this team. We love this team. The team loves this team. And let's take it to the NASA-loving, armpit of the America smelling poorly Houston Astros, and let's shove it to them. Let's make it a fight. Let's coming from the blue corner, your 2022 Seattle Mariners. Let's see what we got. Go Mariners.
Go Ends.